Hey folks, this is Ken Rife with the Rife Mortgage Group at Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, and I'm here with Emmett Lynch from RE/MAX Advantage Plus. And we're here to just give you a quick market update about what's going on in the Twin Cities, specifically the 13 county metro area for September of 2025.
So year over year, from last year to this year, we are up 5.4% in listings.
That's crazy. If you really think about it, because the listing traffic was such a problem, like inventory was such a problem, and they say that a healthy market should have anywhere between 4 and 6 months of inventory.
Yep.
There was a long time there where we had less than 30 to 45 days, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
So we're starting to get to a little bit more of a balanced market. It's starting to feel a level playing field between buyers and sellers. Buyers are taking advantage of the change just because you have, I would say, less anxiety.
Sure.
So like the fear is gone. There's no more high emotional decisions, nothing quick. Everyone's taking their time, maybe too much time because sometimes they're losing the house, but it's a good, healthy market.
Okay. What about sales? Like, have there been, like, with more listings, sometimes you see those days on market go, and I think sometimes people shift a little bit. So, like, what are the numbers telling us about closed sales and what they're doing?
So closed sales right now, it's also a little hard to believe, and it's September's numbers just came through, and we're up 7%.
Wow.
So we have more listings, but also people are starting to come back into the market. So all the years of where it was over the top and there was way more sales going on, now we're starting to get balanced, but it kind of went down for a while.
Yeah.
Where people were afraid, they didn't want to buy. Everyone was waiting for the rates to go back to 3%.
Yeah.
So if you could make that happen,
I'm working on it. We're writing letters every day. Yep.
So, but now I think buyers are comfortable with where we're at. You know, the mid sixes, low sixes, and they're showing so because even though we're only up listings 5.4%, we're up in sales by 7 from last year.
Yeah.
So that's healthy.
So normally when you have more listings and you have the sales activity increasing, and again, that more listings in a month may not be indicative of what's going to happen than the previous months, but like up 7% from the previous month into September closings, that usually means what for sales price? That median sales price
are going up. Yeah, absolutely. So what were we at, like 3.4% we went up?
Roughly 3.4%, I believe is what Mar had mentioned for like a 13 county metro area, which is also funny because you mentioned the buyer piece, like they have more time. That doesn't mean they have more leverage, right?
It depends a lot on each location, area, kind of home. And so even though the prices are up 3.4%, that's like the nominal amount, like everything's like my house is going up, but the real value is actually pretty flat. Yeah. Because if you think about inflation, you're pretty close to that number.
You are.
So if you're thinking inflation right now is around 3%, maybe if they got it down to 3, otherwise it's probably almost identical. So the homes are pretty flat in price.
So I think one piece that's important is a couple things. We talk about this all the time in that the team that you're working with or the agent that you're working with, it's so much more than just being able to open a door and tell you how many beds and baths are in a house. I think having an agent that understands what are the numbers for listing data, how many more closed sales are we in, because that might be the difference between you deciding to go in at list price or bumping that offer up $5K. And we all know like that $5,000 could be the difference between you getting the home that you want to have.
A lot of times it is.
And and it's not like they're coming back saying, "Hey Emmett, you're $3,000 off from winning." That's not how this works. Like having the data in your back pocket and knowing, hey, the data shows this, the data is showing that we're 3.5% roughly over the median, the sales prices are increasing. We need to formulate our offer around this in this price point.
Yes.
And having an agent that understands that is super, super important. So like we're very lucky that we get to work with agents like Emmett that are experienced, that understand data more than just, hey, this is a nice home in Richfield.
Well, yeah, and it's shifting. So again, I always go kind of back, like during COVID, you could have anyone, your cousin, your neighbor, your grandmother's dog, put your house up for sale, and it would sell because it was COVID. Listing agents were not as important to vet them and interview them, and now it's but during COVID, you had to have the best buyer's agent.
So good. Yeah.
And now it's kind of shifted a little bit. So listing agents, the heat's back on you because now you have to sell it. You have to do things. You have to prove your worth. And a buyer's agent's job has gotten a little bit easier.
Totally.
Because now it's like, hey, we can, instead of looking at one house and making an offer within an hour for best and final offer, and you can't do an inspection, you have to waive your appraisal gap, everything.
Yep.
And so as a buyer's agent, you had I think I had a list of like 63 different strategies that you had to implement to win an offer.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of changed. Now it's like the buyer's agent's a little bit more relaxed, and it's a little bit more enjoyable because it's a balanced market. But now, opposite of COVID, now the listing agent, the pressure's on.
Yeah.
You can't just throw a sign in the yard and hope it sells, or I shouldn't say hope. During COVID, you just put a sign in the yard and it sold.
It's old. Yeah.
Now it's a little bit different. You have to really prove what you're going to do that's above and beyond. And one thing that I've learned over the years, my probably biggest mistake as a listing agent before, and I kind of say it now when I'm talking about it, is you have to sell a home twice. So you have to put it on the market, you have to do all your marketing, your photos, everything to get it ready, and then you put it on the market, you get a buyer, accept an offer, you sold it once.
Yep.
And then the biggest obstacle then becomes the inspection. Because during the inspection period, buyers look at it as a second
renegotiation
chance
period. Yep.
To renegotiate. So something that I'm doing different now is I'm doing the inspection on the front end.
Sure.
So when the home is on the market, all the buyers, all the agents have the inspection report that we did. And then it's kind of nice because as a seller, you get to show what you're willing to do. So then you have the inspection report and then you show what you did. So like we had the furnace replaced, or we had the roof redone, or we had the home painted, we had the water heater, all these things. You show what you've done.
Yep.
And it eliminates that second sell.
Yeah. So you're essentially like forecasting the issues before they become issues, or you're forecasting things to make that it might still be an issue, but we know about that issue ahead of time.
Yes.
And that changes the dynamic of the transaction altogether.
And it's just like complete disclosure.
Yeah.
It's like we're not just filling out a disclosure and it's like, oh, we've been here for 20 years. When did we do? It's like, here's an inspection report with everything that's on it.
Yeah.
So then they know that when they're making the offer.
Sure.
And it just eliminates a lot of the problem.
I love it.
Another thing that I've done differently is like anyone that's looking to sell, in Minnesota, I say the spring market starts in February.
Sure.
Because you get an accepted offer in February, you're closing end of March or April, it's springtime. And so if you have a beautiful home, you want those listing photos done while there's grass. While it looks nice, while your flowers are growing. So even by this point, we're already kind of almost past that.
Sure.
I did a lot of listing photos that I have ready for next year on homes, and that was a big difference from when early in my career to now.
So those are some really, really powerful numbers going into what we would consider to be kind of the kickoff to the fall-winter market. And these are really encouraging numbers from a real estate perspective, because the health of the market is completely predicated off listings, if we're being honest, right? Inventory, homes for sale is what a healthy market is based off of. So seeing all these numbers going up and seeing kind of the data behind that is such a good indication. So if you are looking to buy or sell a home right now, it's so important that we get you linked up with experienced, data-driven agents that know what they're doing and know this market and operate in this market specifically. And if you need anything, give Emmett a call.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey folks, this is Ken Rife with the Rife Mortgage Group at Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. And I forgot to introduce Emmett. He just looks over and nods.